Hi guys, welcome back. So today we are discussing the topic called Antimicrobial Resistance or AMR in its short form. So today as the world is in the grip of one of the most dangerous pandemics that the world has ever seen, this is yet another threat that is rising up and providing a kind of existential threat to all the modern medicines and all the modern medical treatments. So first of all, let's look what is AMR or antimicrobial resistance. So AMR is a phenomenon whereby the bacteria and fungi will develop some sort of a resistance against the modern medicines. So why is it important that we discuss this issue today? First of all, this antimicrobial resistance is a threat to the modern medicine. Now, the effectiveness of modern medicines is questioned because of the presence of AMR, and also secondly, while most of the important surgical procedures as well as procedures like the cancer chemotherapy is conducted, there is a risk of the patients developing infections, and in most of these cases we use antibiotics to prevent that. Now, when antimicrobial resistance is there, these antibiotics will prove ineffective against all these infections. So it is going to create a situation where most of the infections will be untreatable. Now also this will increase the rates of neonatal as well as maternal mortality rates in the country, and this is going to be creating a very serious situation. Now, if you look at the factors which are causing this antimicrobial resistance, so a few years back or decades back, we did not discuss this because it was not present in the society at that point in time. But today, what are the factors that has caused antimicrobial resistance? Now, first of all, in the low and middle income countries, most of the mortality rates has been brought down to a large extent because of the use of these antibiotics. So antibiotics were freely available in all the markets, and people started using them as if they do not want any medical prescription, and this created a very free usage of antibiotics, and this helped the development of antimicrobial resistances. Now also in our agricultural fields, most of the fertilizers and pesticides had these presence of antibiotics which helped this get into the food chain and enter into our human and animal bodies and develop the antimicrobial resistance. And also in the various pharmaceutical manufacturing sites, they do not have proper sewage system or treatment of the waste that they are disposing to various water bodies, whereby the presence of antibiotics in the water bodies as well as to the places to which they dispose these waste created a situation of developing antimicrobial resistance. Also in various markets of meat-based industries of animals, there was use of antibiotics in order to initiate easy growth of these animals and to quickly use them for meat purposes. Now, when all these factors are causing antimicrobial resistance, why can't we prevent this from happening, or what is the challenge in really initiating actions against antimicrobial resistance? First of all, the issue is that the industry of these new antibiotics is almost stagnant today, because if you look at the growth rates or the growth rate of new antibiotics in the industry, they have been decreasing. It has been in a negative growth rate these days, because many small and not so important companies have only initiated into innovation of new antibiotics. So if we need to prevent these antimicrobial resistances, we need to have new antibiotics that come up into the industry. So when innovation is low in this field, there is going to be a huge challenge of not having enough of the antibiotics and new antibiotic varieties. Now, we do not have credible industries that are working in the field of innovation of new antibiotics. And also there is also lack of proper incentive that is given to these industries so as to enable them to work into the field of innovation of new antibiotics. Now let us look into the factors whereby we can use to solve this issue and why there is need for global cooperation. First of all, in 2020, there was a $1 billion worth industry that was industry or fund that was created for antimicrobial resistance action fund, but it did not bring in a lot of effect as of now, but it has been in presence for promoting various industries to work into the innovation as well as bringing in of new antibiotics. Also, various countries are using methods like educating the patients about the importance of not taking antibiotics easily without any medical prescription. So, there need to be more proper medical practitioner's prescription for you to buy antibiotics, which is one of the easiest methods by which we can prevent antimicrobial resistances. Now, also we need to prevent the use of these antibiotics in livestock industry, because in the animal markets, if you are using it extensively, it can enter into the food chain and it can threat the existence of various living creatures in the wake of antimicrobial resistance. Now, we need also the cooperation as well as the presence of all the stakeholders from various fields like agriculture, health, environment, livestock, etc. to come together and coordinate, because all of these are important factors which give rise to antimicrobial resistance. Last of all, we need international cooperation and coordination in this regard, because it is not going to affect any particular one country, but it will affect all of the world and various low and middle income countries, especially because they have a very big scale of developing market of antibiotics, which will create a situation of expansive use of antibiotics, and antimicrobial resistance will develop in a huge scale. So, hope you all liked listening to this piece of information, and if it was helpful, do tell us, and thanks for watching.